Hi, Patrick here from Have Cheetah Will View, and I'm here for a 31 Days of Halloween review. I do believe this will be day 14. I think I'm 6 days behind. Yep, 6 days behind. I tried doing this like 3 times last night, and I just hated it. just these solo interviews, solo reviews are the bane of my existence here on the tube. But we'll get after it. We'll try it again. So me and the Cheetah, we decided we'd watch a thriller with horror elements to it. And that is The Silencing from 2020, released by Lionsgate, starring Nicholas Coster-Waldau from Game of Thrones, and Annabelle Wallis from The Mummy. Those are the two biggest names that you might know these folks from. See if I can break this down real quick without getting overthinking it. The movie opens up with a body floating down a river. It's a young missing girl who's been hunted and killed by a killer using a ancient weapon. It's a spear. It's a pronounced. I can't pronounce the name, but it's a spear that I first actually saw the spear on the old show, the Deadliest Warrior, and it's a delivery system where instead of just throwing the spear manually, you have a device that enables you to throw the spear much faster, up to 100 miles an hour. And someone is going and hunting girls in the forest and killing them. So this is how we meet our sheriff, Sheriff Alice Gustafson, who is played by Annabelle Wallis. She is this, she's being called out to this murder. That's one half of our play, and the other half is Nicholas Coster-Waldau, who plays Rayburn Swanson, whose daughter has gone missing for 5 years, and he still is looking for her. Unfortunately, he is also a pretty nasty alcoholic, and while he means well, he's struggling really, really bad. He used to be a hunter, but now he's a protector, so he has converted his land into a private sanctuary. And when we meet him, he has caught 2 young poachers on his land hunting deer. He confiscates their weapons and sends them on their way. No harm, no foul. And we see that he struggles. He's a heavy drinker, and he's got a lot of problems. And but when the movie really kicks off is when he comes out of a bender, and he sees on his security cameras, that a girl is being hunted. First he sees a gentleman out there, looks like he's poaching. So he goes out to catch him, and he is actually wounded by the killer, who is throwing these spears, and they are wicked. So he gets wounded. He manages to escape, goes back to his house. He self-treats himself, and then that's when as he's resting, he wakes up and he sees a young girl being hunted down. So as he goes to help her, we flash back to the sheriff, who has her own personal demons, and that is that her brother is emotionally disturbed and is most likely fallen into substance abuse, and he might be in deeper trouble than that. Her county is next to an Indian county, in Native American county, and so there's some things that she can't do. She can't enforce the law on her in the Indian county, and her and the sheriff over there, the chief sheriff over there, the the lead officer, well, they sort of butt heads because her brother's causing havoc over there, and she keeps protecting her brother, and the Native American police officer knows it, and it's causing a lot of tension between them. So while this is happening, we see that Rayburn has managed to rescue a girl, and now he's on his way back. This is just the main points of the movie. There's little scenes in between, obviously. So he rescues this girl on the way back. The killer tracks him back to the house. They have a big fight in the house. The sheriff comes out, Alice comes out, and it looks like it's her brother who's doing the killing. And she's protecting him, and she turns around and she shoots Rayburn in defending her brother, and almost kills him. And but manages to survive the shooting. And as a father with a missing daughter, he understands her pain. So whereas she could in the dire threat of losing her job, in the end she doesn't. He covers for her, and they go looking for a killer, and it's a near thing. And they do find the most unlikeliest person who's the killer, and he just gets his just desserts. Okay, that's a muddled and probably just like terrible synopsis of this movie, but I will say this: the movie was good. It was good in many places. There was some cracks in it for sure. Sometimes the pieces didn't connect together too well. The one thing that really caught me, really surprisingly, is like in such a short a time that the story's taken place. It's almost like the people who get banged up, it's almost sort of cartoonish. Rayburn gets shot in the shoulder with that spear. He snaps it off. He goes, he walks back there, he stitches himself up, and yet, not more than a couple days later, he's out there, carrying this girl over his shoulder and his arms like nothing's happened. He gets shot, and the girl gets wounded, and yet it seems like he's like a week later, after all the events have happened. They're both up and running around. It was sort of really weird and off-putting. It was like these people should be out of action for a long time, and yet here they are out there bouncing around the forest hunting for a very cunning killer. And it's like, you just got a spear put through your ass and a bullet in your side, and yet here you are walking around like, what, hours later? It was sort of throws you off a little bit. The performances were pretty good, but they were underwritten. And the movie seemed disjointed in the sense that it seemed like two different movies too much at a time. It's like you had Nicholas Cox-Waldau's story, and then you had Alice's story, and they really didn't interact too much. They had brief contact, but it really didn't make so much sense. Like Alice coming over and introducing herself to Rayburn, and instantly expecting for them to be, together, and it just didn't really feel authentic. It just needed a little bit more seasoning. There needed to be like a history between those two, like, did Alice work on the case with her daughter? No, but it would have been helpful if she had. Because it's her daughter, the daughter's been missing for 5 years. You would think that they would have been somehow connected, but no. I mean, they explained it away by Alice just being in town, from back east, but it still didn't jive with the disconnect between Alice and Rayburn. The killer, while it was really cool, it was interesting, but we didn't get to know him at all. and the ending seemed really sort of cobbled on together. The reason I say this is a good movie is the actors were pretty good. I mean, they gave their shot. I mean, Annabelle Wallis and Nicholas Costu Wayburn, Waldrew. See, I hate this. Nicholas Costas Waldrew's character, Rayburn Swanson, were good characters, and this movie also features a scene-stealing performance by a Native American actor named Zahn McClarnon. Really good. He really enjoyed his performance in this movie. He really is the hero of this movie, even though he's not featured in that role, but he really is. Alice and Rayburn and are not exactly they're not exactly good people. They have a lot of flaws, and they're just struggling to get through. But I really enjoyed watching Zahn McClarnon. He was really good. Yeah, I guess he's no spring chicken, but he was excellent in this. Highly recommend it to watch him and his performance. I wish he had. I wish I have to. I'm gonna go back and see if I can find more work that he's done because he was really good in this. Okay, so the silencing runs for 93 minutes. It's a fast 93 minutes, and has a little special features on the making of, and then the look at the spear that they use in the movie. A little bit more of a bit of a history to it. So, yeah. So that is the movie that we watched for day 14, and yeah, me the Cheetah, we give this 2 thumbs up, but this could have been done better. Could have been done better. All right, that's it for us, and yeah, I spent 12 minutes on this. All right, well, we will talk at you soon. If you like what you hear, please consider subscribing, leaving a comment, hit the notification bell. We are tipping toward 400, and then the race is on for 5. Yes, we want 500 because we want the community tab. It would help our channel out tremendously. The community tab is a game changer. So that's where we're at. So we are at this time 102 away. So let's get cracking. All right. Thanks so much, and we will see you soon. Until the next one. Peace.